Hello, this is Chiak. We are back again with another set of Syberia, the world before, where, let's see, Kate and Olivia are gonna have a chat. Also, what time would it be in New York? I assume... Okay, why is the music getting so... Okay, I'm gonna assume the music was representing her anxiety over this, which I can understand. I personally do not like making phone calls.
Hello? Hello? Mr. Cantin, is that you? Who's there, please?
Say something.
Got your letter, Olivia.
Kate, I sent it 2 years ago.
I know, things have been complicated.
Complicated. I see. And so when are you coming back to New York? You know, to visit your mother's grave?
You
Why
know
is
I can't
she
come back,
so-
Olivia. I'm still wanted by the police over the sale of the Vorarlberg factory.
Oh, I haven't forgotten, believe me. If only you knew how much the accusations hurt your mother. Visits from the police, the requisitions, and just when she was diagnosed, too. And yet the poor woman never stopped hoping that her daughter would come back one day. Or at least call to help her in her final days.
I mean, she was literally in a prison camp. What the hell? Like, didn't Mr. Cantin explain that to her? I'm confused of why she's so...
I don't have to justify myself to you, Olivia, or to anyone else.
Kate, Okay, listen to me. I thought you had plenty of time to think about how you abandoned all of us. Me, your mother, Dan, or even that poor Mr. Cantin. And maybe felt at least some remorse. But I guess I was dreaming. All you do is keep chasing castles in the sky and ignore those who care about you.
Yeah, I know, I have no idea why she's angry. But I guess this is the more understanding. See, I'm confused. Promise, I have no idea where Olivia's coming from. Because we've always been in Kate's perspective, but we have no clue what's happening. I can understand the mother. I don't understand why Olivia's angry. Or Dan. Like, especially if, like, Dan did cheat on her with Olivia, which, yes, it was because Kate was gone. Mind you, that happened, I'm pretty sure that happened in the first game, when she wasn't gone that, like, she takes trips for her job, I'm assuming, quite a bit. I don't know. It's, like, it wasn't that long. It wasn't like she was gone for years and then they hooked up and then she blames him. It happened in the first game, if I'm remembering that correctly. So I don't understand why Olivia is angry. I can understand her being angry on behalf of her mother. I'm going to assume that they do because she and Kay have been friends for so long that clearly they know each other. They know their families. But why is she angry on behalf of herself? Like, where is this righteousness? Like, it sounds like to me there's a bit of righteousness there. I don't know if that is the case, but, like, where is that coming from? I don't understand, but we'll go with the good option, because this seems like the good option.
I get why you're mad. Do you think I'm not mad at myself?
Well, I hope so.
But there's nothing I can do now to change what happened. It's over, Olivia. All I have now is the woman in the painting.
Oh, Kate, I should have known. And I should never have asked you to call me. Goodbye, Kate. I hope you find whatever it is you've been looking for these past 3 years. One thing's for sure, though. You wanted to be alone. And that's how you're gonna stay.
Again, why is Olivia so angry? Where is her angry coming from? It's like, hey, I cheated with your fiance, but I'm totally angry at you. I don't understand. Am I seeing this wrong? Like, is there a detail that I'm missing? Someone please, if you remember, maybe you can make sense of this, because I do not make sense of Olivia right now. And the problem is we're missing her information. We know from Kate's perspective of her adventures, right? But I just do not understand Olivia's. Again, also confused. Mr. Cantin, if she was in the salt mine, then she would know that it's not like she can just leave her prison. Literally, she was I don't understand. Like, what the hell is Mr. Cantin telling her then? I feel so angry on behalf of Kate, but it's just like, clearly I do not know what is from Olivia's perspective, so I'm not going to have, all I'm going to have is Kate's perspective. Because we can only assume Olivia feels abandoned. Maybe she is angry on behalf of Kate's mother as well, Sarah. Maybe Dan, but again, it's just like, get off your horse.
Okay, let's go, kiddo. Another day, another page. A new day in Vaughan.
Oh wow, changed
I
fast.
must take the tram to that music academy where Dana Rose was a student in the 1930s. With a bit of luck, they'll have kept her records.
Okay. I'm still so furiously angry at Olivia right now. Someone, if you can explain this to me, please, or what you think, what Olivia's thinking. Or if I missed the detail, because I cannot comprehend it. Okay, so what was the, speak to Frau Wagner about the latest discoveries before you leave. A painting of Vaughan. Sometimes these read things are just so completely unnecessary. Is this the same thing over and over again? Oh, this is the pictures we took. Oh my god. They're all here. Okay, cool, neat. Anything, wait, what's get added to the board? I want to know that. Looted by brown soldiers, train car, rock slide. It was painted by Leon Kobat, a local alpinist. The model is question mark, Dana Rose, a budding musician. They fell in love. The brown shadow forced Leon to leave with an expedition to Baltier, the origin expedition. I found Major Sitter's train with Katusha. It was a stored... sorry, I've already read this. Okay, Vaughan, Herr Müller sent me to Spiel Refuge. I can never say this. The manager, Lenny, knew Dana and Leon. Lenny told me how to get to the music academy where Dana used to study. Okay, so there's nothing more here then. I mean, this is just kind of like, this is what we know so far in the story. Or the past story, or in her investigation.
Demoiselle Lenny told me the music academy is near the musical square. Maybe Frau Wagner can tell me more.
Okay, so let's go talk to Frau Wagner. I'm assuming she would be manning the reception. Hello?
Ah, hello, Miss...
Oh, I interrupted your hello. My bad.
Miss Walker. Did you sleep all right?
Fine, thanks.
Now, is there anything you need?
Everything seems to link the person I'm looking for with the Second World War and the rise of the Brown Shadow.
Terrible times were those, my dear. Especially when Wagen was occupied after the annexation of Ostertal. Thank God I was born just after the liberation.
I see, but I guess you had to grow up with the after effects of those events.
Oh yes, dear. There was a kind of conspiracy of silence where everyone suspected each other, even their close friends. Did any of them collaborate with the enemy? And if so, was it through like-mindedness or simple cowardice? Were they responsible in one way or another for the arrest or death of a family member?
I must have been awful.
A terrible time, really.
Well, the person I'm looking for is from the same generation.
You'll just have to hope she managed to survive the madness then.
I went to the Silberspiegel Refuge yesterday. Oh, magnificent.
I won't disagree with that, Miss Walker. Those mountains are the pride of the town, just like old Lenny.
Lenny is highly respected in Wagen because she was a resistance fighter during World War II, right? Well, I heard about it when I was at the refuge.
Lenny Renner might be a grumpy old spinster, but to us she's still a heroine. Pity the same can't be said of her father, though. Still, everyone has their cross to bear, as they say.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean?
No point gossip-mongering. The war was a dark time in Wagen for everyone, see? Best not stir up old memories.
Okay, that was...
I'd like to go to the Music Academy. Can you tell me how to get there?
You just need to take the tram northbound to the musical square.
Is there anything I should know about the Academy?
To tell the truth, it's a little glum nowadays. Especially when you think it was once the jewel of the town, where students came from all over the world to perform on the musical square, you know. Pity. It's since lost its panache of old through lack of students and means.
Well, I guess I should get going. Thank you for your time, Frau Wagner.
Feel free to ask if you have any more questions.
Okay. Let's go to the musician's district. Where's my exit? I was like, I couldn't find the door. Okay, just a short trip up. There we go. When is Oscar coming back? Kate needs a friend. This is Olivia. I'm still up on Olivia. Okay. Music Academy, let's go, let's go. Okay. Again, what is the point of this loading screen? This is, I'm assuming, a loading screen, but it's letting me continue right away. Unless it's just because if maybe with other computers it'll take some time for me. It's just like, alright, continue. Go for it. Though this itself is a loading screen, so I'm confused. Okay, we can open our diary. What new has popped up? Oh. Oh, this is... Okay, this is Nick Cantin. I forgot that. Nick Cantin's report. Dear Miss Foster, I hope this finds you well. You must admit that your last letter left me slightly confused. Okay, I feel like there's maybe a bit more that's been added. Seeking Kate Walker. Okay. He doesn't seem that far behind. I'm confused of why he's having trouble finding her. Okay, I need to find where it is that Nick Cantin has left off, because clearly I'm missing... I feel like there's a lot to this. I've arrived in Vaughan, Orsathal. Nick Cantin's report. Okay, seriously, where did I leave off? Okay, I think this is where I left off, because this is the... I was great pleasure to inform me that it's escaped from the mine. Okay. Oh, but I guess it's like coming back after escaping from the mine. That's what Olivia was angry about. She apparently headed west. Okay, November 7th, 2005. Dear Mrs. Foster, thanks for the information in your last letter. It should allow me to get back on track. If Miss Walker was last seen in Vaughan, then Vaughan's where I'm headed. Oh, after all, there aren't any more castles in the sky for Kate Walker to go searching for, are there? Okay. I can hardly believe I've been searching high and low for almost a year now, from East to Central Europe to pick up Miss Walker's trail. She seems to have kept away from the main highways and cities, but there have been a number of sightings from country people and misfits. Okay, I have actually read this. On her motorbike, only pausing for short breaks or to do odd jobs to pay for her next tank of gas. She apparently doesn't bond with anyone and never divulges her motivations. The witnesses unanimously confer that she spends moments of rest listening to her mother's music box you sent and contemplates some strange painting. 2027. Dear Mrs. Foster, I have arrived in Vaughan Orsathal, where I've been able to quickly pick up Miss Walker's trail. She was staying for a while in a local guest house, but had already left by the time I had arrived. It is not going to be easy to find out if she has left the town or moved to another address. The guest house owner, a certain Frau Wagner, seems to hold her in very high esteem and has categorically refused to help me. Oh, so he was there. It was all I could do to get Frau Wagner to tell me that Miss Walker went to the antiques district on her first day in the city. I shall just have to follow Kate's footsteps in order to reconstitute her trails and reconstitute her trials and tribulations in Vaughan. Never mind, though, after all, it's been my routine for almost the last 3 years now. I'm kind of curious, because clearly he's way farther behind. What was the dates? What was the day that we're in present with Kate? That's what I'm wondering. Because clearly I have not... This is... Even though we're getting these diary entries, these are kind of what's diary entries from the future. Vaughan, November 28th, 2005. Dear Miss Foster, according to my latest information, Kate Walker has lost the automaton, hers she calls Oscar. By all accounts, it happened during her visit to the Mueller antique shop. Given that she's also now mourning her mother and her co-inmate, I'm beginning to wonder if Miss Walker brought some kind of curse upon herself when she fled with the late Monsieur Vorburg nearly 3 years ago. It might seem a bit far-fetched, but there's a term I once heard at a conference by my favorite crime writer, and it keeps popping into my head whenever I think of Kate Walker. In a word, hubris. Hubris for what? Are they saying she stole? Like, what was it saying? That she owns the Vorburg factory now? What is going on? I'm missing information, or I'm forgetting information here. It describes the arrogance and excessive pride of a person that leads them to disregard the divinely fixed limits, and by seeking to avoid a tragic destiny, the person ends up by provoking it. I guess it's like a cruel twist of fate, like that which seems to be striking Kate Walker. She fled her old life, and yet, after all these misfortunes, her old life must seem more present and full of regrets than ever. What is this story right now? She fled her old life. Because to me, it sounds like fleeing your old life from a crime more so than just going on an adventure, which I don't get what people's hangs up. It's like, I want to go on an adventure, but okay. I'm clearly not I'm just missing something here. I'm missing a perspective. But anyway, Miss Walker is still on her unlikely quest to find the woman in the picture she found in that mine. My guess is she's thrown herself into this new quest to escape from her grief. Herr Mueller from the antique shop told me he sent Miss Walker to the Spielsberg Wilspiegel refuge in the mountains near Vaughan. I'll be heading out there as soon as I can. Miss Walker only has a few days head start. She may well still be there by the time I arrive. A few days head. Okay, so he's not that far behind. Kate's just moving too quickly. Vaughan, November 29th, 2005. So, though he thinks that she has left the guest house. Anyway. Dear Mrs. Foster, today I went to the famous refuge in the Silverspiegel mountain where that picture was painted. The one that Kate Walker seems to have become so obsessed about since her escape from the mine. I was expecting it to be one heck of a long journey to reach the refuge, but on the way, I bumped into a group of alpinists and technicians from the Institute of Forensic Medicine of Vaughan. It turned out they were also heading near the refuge, more precisely to the foot of the infamous pass known as Devil's Pass, to carry out some macabre work. I'll spare you the grim details. Anyway, they kindly offered me a lift to the refuge in their helicopter. Once there, I made their acquaintance of the manageress of the place, a sour-tempered old woman named Lenny. A sly and taciturn old-timer, she wasn't exactly on an easy witness to question, I can tell you. All the more so as our meeting took place under the watch of a kind of hired help who must assist the old woman on a daily basis. He was a colossus of a guy and was careful to make himself visible to me while at the same time keeping his face well in the semi-darkness of the common room. Okay, so that was the guy that was like probably watching in the mountains. Typical intimidation tactics, which of course were totally useless against me. I mean, I'm from New York, right? I managed to wrinkle the confirmation out of the old dame that Kate Walker had been to the refuge and had questioned the old lady on events that took place in the summer of 1937. Fräulein Lenny ended up caving and begrudgingly told me everything she knew. She spoke a lot about a certain Dana Rose, that's the young woman on Miss Walker's painting. She had apparently fallen for an alpinist by the name of Leon during that summer. All this was during preparations for a secret expedition known as Origin, financed by the Brown Shadow. It was recorded on film by a female filmmaker in vogue at the time, a certain Junta Steinhoff. Apparently, this Leon, following a disagreement with a Brown Shadow militiaman, was forced by the fascists to go with the expedition to a faraway land they called Baltier, so causing a painful separation with this Dana Rose. Armed with this knowledge, Kate Walker then continued her research the following day at the Academy of Music of Wagen. That's where I'm headed now to continue my investigation. Okay, and this is where the phone call, I'm assuming, comes in. Dear Mrs. Foster, I hope this finds you well. I must admit that your last letter left me slightly confused. So Miss Walker called you a few days before you sent it, right? It's deplorable that she has once again refused to conduct herself reasonably and instead become hostile towards you. I fully understand your reservations as to trying to make Miss Walker return to the USA. Can anyone really help someone who refuses to be helped? Is there a limit to the number of times you can be pushed away by the very person you are trying to help? Believe me, Olivia, these are valid questions and questions that I frequently ask myself too. Haven't I too been treated harshly by Miss Walker and her various travel buddies? I was only trying to help her. What are you guys trying to help her with? But it's important to put things into perspective. Kate Walker is still in mourning. In fact, she's in mourning not just for her mother, but also for her friends, Katusha and Oscar. When she's alone in the middle of the night, who knows what terrible memories come to hound her. I suspect it's these feelings that are making her hostile to those who are only trying to act in her best interest. Wasn't it the case when she made that night call to you? So, with all due respect, no, I cannot give up the hunt for Miss Walker. So I guess it's just too bad if I have to go on now without the generous patronage of your good self and your husband, Dan. My latest lead shows that Kate Walker went to the Academy of Music, and so that's where I'm heading to today to try to find her. So I guess I can only assume that from their perspective, Kate is just running from the law. Like, assuming, because they're saying that because I don't know, I remember her faxing the whole transfer thing to the law firm, but something happened, or maybe I'm remembering wrong. But either way, I guess they in their perspective, she took the money and just decided to go off on this adventure. This is the only thing I can think of the reason why. Because, again, I think I'm just really stuck on the fact that supposedly she took off with the money, but I remember her faxing the documents. So what is going on? What is happening? Let's see. Can we find the bass clef? Is there? Use introspection before you go to the academy. And also, if like this is following after the third game, which again, I think I was having issues with the characterization there.
Don't do that. Stop it.
Ah, Oscar. Oscar?
Oh dear. Help.
Oh my God, Oscar!
Someone.
Save Oscar!
Put me down!
Oscar? Bet you can't catch it! Don't you dare! Put it down! Right now! Alright then. Oscar!
you all right?
I had a bit of a bumpy ride, but I am glad to see you, Kate Walker.
Oscar, oh, I've missed you so much.
I say, this display of emotion is most unreasonable, Kate Walker. I do hope you don't plan such profusion every time I change bodies.
It's just that I've been worrying about you. Where were you, Oscar?
Well, the mechanical instinct of my host took me for a ride, all across town. It took me the whole night to tame it, and that's when I bumped into those little rascals.
Yeah, lucky I was in the area, huh?
Quite. So, Kate Walker, what has happened since we parted at the Balaton River?
Maybe we should just sit down for a second, Oscar. This might take a while. And that's when Demoiselle Lenny gave me the address of the Music Academy in this neighborhood.
I see, Kate Walker.
Okay.
You must think I'm crazy, huh? Running after that girl, Dana, who must have died ages ago.
Well, Kate Walker, you know I have difficulty understanding illogical thought patterns. But in the end, what I do understand is that you need to find her. Is that correct, Kate Walker?
Yes, that is correct, Oscar. I'm glad you're taking it so well.
I don't see any fundamental difference between crossing Europe in search of mammoths, traveling on ostriches in an irradiated zone, or following your double. These are not things an automaton such as I take into consideration.
Any other thoughts, Oscar?
Well, I guess I could ask you where we are heading, but truth be told, it doesn't really matter. I will follow you wherever you lead, and for as long as you require my services, Kate Walker. That's what an automaton does.
Thank you, Oscar.
Oh dear, I hope you're not going to become physical, are you?
No, I was just going to give you a pat on the back.
I would rather you refrain from having such thoughts. I am not a dog, you know. Whatever next?
Anyway, we'd better get going, Oscar, and you'd better keep out of sight.
Oh dear, I don't suppose I have any choice.
Yeah, so where... Very cute, but where are we gonna... In the hood? In your bag? Okay, in the bag. She's... I like how they completely avoided the animation. What? Oh, that's
I'm
hilarious.
so glad he's back.
Your most faithful companion. I love that.
I'm counting on you to transplant my mechanical heart as soon as we come across an XZ2000 automaton.
Okay. Anything else?
How is your research going, Kate Walker? Yes, Kate Walker?
Okay.
Is it really necessary for me to be shut up in here, Kate Walker?
Sorry, Oscar, but I don't want to run the risk of losing you again.
Okay, the diary entry got added too, so we better read that. Nothing much. There's nothing. Okay, so Oscar is in our inventory now. Hilarious. But let's look at this.
Victims of the genocide committed by the fascists during the Second World War. Oh, so many deaths. I hope Dana made it through.
I can't imagine that's every name. Just all the names that they know. I see a Diana on there, but... I mean, if Dana's name was on there, it would let us know. Now, what I want to see is if I can find... Do you think I can find the... Was this where the alley was? Unfortunately, I didn't search that alley. I want to see if I can find that bass clef. Maybe not. Yes. Here. Here. It's here. I'm assuming that she somehow knows about that story. Maybe Lenny Dana told Lenny and Lenny told her. Okay, so really the only main is use introspection before we go to the academy, so I'm assuming there's just gonna be a point where we can use the... Maybe there's a place where she can sit down. Nice little clothing shop there. Cafe. Alright. So that is the Music Academy up there. Is there anything else I can look at here? I can. Oh my
That
god.
brand was everywhere in New York when I left. And now they've even got branches here.
Let's look around.
Looks like they've tried to blend all these new shops into the original facades. It doesn't make it any less a tourist trap, though.
I don't know why we can enter here, but we can. This is clearly, I mean, the green is clearly going... I'd imagine it's meant to represent Starbucks. Who? Joshua Denke, Employee of the Month for Outstanding Performance on Effort. Regional Manager. Okay. That's the guy right at the front there.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, Fräulein. What can I do for you?
How come the square is so well known?
Because of the mechanical orchestra there. It used to be quite the attraction. Every year, the Academy's best student would play along with it, as did renowned musicians from around the world.
Oh, that sounds intriguing. Is it scheduled to play today?
I'm afraid not. Several years back, the town council discussed computerizing it. But the plan never went through, and no one has ever heard its music since.
Do we get to play? Because there was a talk about her learning the piano, so do we get to play?
There are a lot of tourists on the square.
Indeed. It attracts thousands of customers every year. A veritable boon for us retail shops.
And for the people of the town, too?
I wouldn't know about that. I live on the outskirts, as do most of the people. What with the rents being as high as they are here, you know?
I'm surprised that, like, they have never thought of, like, hiring someone to play music on the
Do you
thing?
know anything about the Wagen Music Academy?
It's the large building across the square there. Used to be quite renowned worldwide, actually.
Oh,
But
wow.
not anymore?
Well, from what I gather, hardly anyone studies there nowadays. I wouldn't be surprised if it were closed.
Well, what happened?
Budget cuts from the town council, I guess. The academy can't be very lucrative.
I see. Thank you. I should go now.
Auf Wiedersehen, Fräulein. Come back again.
Okay, anything else I can see in here? Obviously, this is just to get information about the area that's private. No, don't worry, I'm not going into your back. I'm not going to the back. Let's exit. Okay. What I'd like to do is explore around some more, do the introspection, and then I'll end the set there. Look, look, look!
An automaton musician. Looks exactly like Hans's style. Like at Bohogstadt.
That woman is talking to someone that's not actually there. They seem to do that quite a bit in this. Which is hilarious. Okay, come on. I'm like trying to... Oh, no, no. Okay. Oh, God. So far the only issue with navigation was going to be the camera here. Because that has gone in the way a few times. This guy's just having a look. There's nothing to look at here. Is this the academy? No, this looks like a church. No, it's not boarded up, so it can't be the academy. Oh, let's have a look.
Wow. Pity I don't have time for some sightseeing.
Yeah, that is a church. I just saw the cross at the top. Where's... Okay, I got confused. I'm like, where are you, Kate? Okay. Man, it's like... It looks a lot more run down than I thought it was. Wait, don't go up yet. I'm assuming the introspection is over there. At the very least, I want to see if there's anything more to look at here. Okay, we've made our way around, because I do recognize this. Oh, okay. That's that. Let's go up. Maybe have our introspection. Yeah, introspection's here. Oh, that's definitely due to the forthcoming computerization of the mechanical orchestra of the musical square. Playing this piano is strictly forbidden until further notice. They forbidden it? Why?
I
Why would
can't
you
open it
forbid
like this. It looks like it's been mechanically sealed.
Are we gonna be stealing?
I don't think I'll be able to open it directly.
Are you gonna be like stealing the key or something to play it for some reason? I mean, they're like, for all I know, they were like, we're gonna close anyway, so play it. Play it to your heart's content. Okay. Okay, I'm just one thing I want to do. It looked like there were some things at the front. We're gonna quickly go around. If that's not the case, then I'll just come back up. Okay, for some reason she went around that way. Ah, okay. So this was just... Okay, so probably what I saw was the, No, 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 go up! I'm like trying to click it, but it's... Okay, let's have our introspection. We'll end the set, and then we'll go inside the next set. Go inside the Music Academy. I really want you to steal the key, though. Kate, I really think you should. It'll be wonderful.
I only know Dana as a waitress at the refuge, and yet everything seems to fit with her here. Not hard to imagine her coming here to the Music Academy to study. And who knows, maybe Leon waited for her outside one day as a surprise after returning from his Baltayar expedition.
That's the introspection? That's it? Okay. With that, we're gonna end the set here, so thank you for liking if you liked. Thank you for commenting if you commented. Thank you for subscribing if you subscribed. Thank you for favoriting if you favorited. Thank you for simply clicking on this video. Until next time, guys. See ya!